In the book of Luke, we see him as the champion for the underdog. He was an outsider, the only Gentile in an all-Jewish cast of New Testament writers. But he shows how Jesus includes all that were excluded outside of the religious establishment. We are called to do the same. Jesus tells his disciples in Luke 9:49 through 50, those who are not against us are for us. In other words, we must support all those that are trying to do God's work. In the past, we have competed against other sister churches. We have attempted to create and promote our own programs. Instead, we should not be an exclusive club, but an inclusive club, embracing and empowering all. Jesus calls us to cooperate with one another, for we are working towards the same goal. How many of us enter this sanctuary and sit in the same pew? How many of us have been members of the same Sunday school class our entire adult life? How many of us quiver at the thought of worshiping in a different place? How many of us have wondered what would happen if St. Lucas was gone? Well, let us answer these questions. The answer, all of us. But doesn't it feel good when you see a child smile when they get a new pair of shoes? And doesn't it feel good when a person is fed and says, thank you for caring? And doesn't it feel good when a family has food on their table because of you? Doesn't it feel good when you hear a song being sung in another language, but you still understand its meaning? Doesn't it feel good to know that a person smiled today just because of you? Now let us continue to receive the Spirit, stretch ourselves to become part of the faithful community, empower others and ourselves to go forth and serve. Isaiah 54:2 states, make your tents large, spread out, think big. You are going to need lots of growing room for your family. Listen now as our tent stakes speak.
Good evening. I am a tent stake. You can call me Peg. I am the stake of mission. I am mission. Mission opportunities surround us every day, no matter where you live. Large or small, it doesn't matter. God is calling all of us to step out, step up, and do His work. I've seen you volunteering at the Good Samaritan Home, building homes with Habitat. I've seen you hand make quilts and give to others. I've seen you cooking at shelters. You're supporting the crop walk. What a wonderful way to help others in need. You raised enough money to buy blankets, animals, and even start a business. Way to go. You're on a mission. You've helped families that have experienced losing everything. As they attempt to start over, you've given them gifts to light up their faces, gifts to nourish their bodies, and the most important gift of all, friendship. I've seen you feed the hungry and ask for nothing in return. Very impressive. It's obvious that you know me, yet I sense that you're still a little frightened of me. Mission work can be scary. You have to step out of the secure tent and wander into unknown territory. But isn't that exactly what Paul did when he traveled all over Asia and Europe, spreading the good news of Jesus Christ? Have you heard about the families in Appalachia that have no water or electricity? And have you heard about the local youth group that reached out to them this summer? Would you like to be part of that adventure? It's easy. You just call the church that sponsors the event and volunteer. Yeah, it's just that simple. Identify your passion and then plug in. It's just that simple. Certainly you've heard about the schools and churches that have been destroyed by hurricanes. You may not be able to physically go down and do the repairs yourself, but you could gather needed items and send them through the organizations that can. Sometimes the problem seems to me to be that You believe that since you are a small community, you're unable to be missionaries. That's just not true. In your everyday life, you can be a missionary. If you hear of a family who has lost everything in a fire, gather some items of your own to donate. If you hear of a school sponsoring a clothing bank, give to that cause. It could be actual money, a gift certificate from a local store, or clothes from your own child's closet. The opportunities are endless. Again, I say, find your passion and hook up with that group. They'll be thrilled that you joined in. Remember the verse, where one or two are gathered. Do not be afraid to do God's work. You know He is always with you. Reach out your hand and another believer will grasp it. Let our journey begin.